Alright, let's get this set up properly, like so. That should do the trick. This up a bit. Hello, welcome back. That should be just about right. Let's go. True. The weather is also slightly less hellish today, which is always nice. Today it's only 80 degrees, or 86, which I still hate, but I hate it less. Uh, Spoon Bender is always nice to have, because it's a good synergy item, and okay on its own. It's a bit weak on Kane, because his range is so short. So the tracking can't really do much. Yeah, I strongly agree with you. I hate warm weather. A lot. I would take even a stormy winter day over any summer day. Sorry about my streaming schedule, or lack thereof. I do want to get back on a regular streaming schedule, and I will eventually. Unfortunately, it's just the heat kills my ability to function. Ooh, nice. Hitbox down. I used to have a very regular streaming schedule, and then summer happened. A calamity as ever. Could you use your bomb attack, you prick? I want you to blow these up. Thank you. Okay, not twice in a row. Okay, maybe twice in a row is fine if you do that. I'm doing okay, more or less. Tired. Yeah, that might as well be the tagline. Yeah, and I have 7 bombs. I guess I should do this. No reason to not. Oh, this is an XL floor. I didn't even realize. Oh, how did I? I lost my devil deal. God damn it. Frustrating. This is why XL first floors kind of suck. I mean, I guess. I see those little blood stains on you, you prick. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. I don't know how long today's stream is going to be, but it'll go for at least a bit. This Rotten Tomato item isn't great, but it's not completely terrible either because it marks enemies, and those marked enemies are then targeted by other enemies, so, you know, it does its job. I wonder if I should go here. I mean, I guess it's not. Yeah. I could bomb for placebo, but eh. That's gonna be a solid 9. Oh, goodness, this boss fight. I really need that mark to land. Could y'all fight amongst yourselves, please? Yes. Yes, you could. Nice. That was actually perfect, because I landed... damn. Now they didn't hit each other, so it's less perfect. There we go. I still like streaming. I'm just tired. Like, I do like streaming, especially when people are there to talk to. And I do want to stream at least once a day. This season is just miserable. I would give a lot for actual air conditioning. Seasons like this, I just want actual air conditioning and a bath I can sit in with cold water. More range. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good for this floor. I mean, to be fair, the streaming isn't causing suffering. The streaming is just incidental, and I was already suffering. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was... Yeah, it's been... Well, it's just I don't consistently have internet at that time. I might actually consider it, but yeah. But yeah, definitely don't do that. You should sleep, get some actual proper rest. Rest is important, even if I'm not prone to getting it much myself. I recall that's good, but I don't care about it, so odd leaf, maybe. If you say so. It used to be at the start of this year, I had a very regular stream schedule where I streamed at 1 a.m. my time, like, or not 1 a.m., not 1 a.m., 1 p.m. my time every day. And while it might be a little earlier, a little late some days, I was almost always on that schedule. Unfortunately, summer kind of ruined that entirely. Because summer just makes me tired and non-functional. I can't stream during the day, so I have to stream at night, but I don't have internet at night. And it's just a mess. A mess. What treasures do you hold? Yeah. I will probably get back on that schedule eventually, if it helps. It's just unfortunately, right now, 1 p.m. is one of the worst times of the day. Like later in the evening, it's starting to cool down a little bit, and I'll probably be doing morning streams. But as long as the summer is going on, it'll probably continue to be a bit of a mess, unfortunately. Okay, I don't like using a sun card in this kind of area when I could be saving it for another floor and getting the map reveal out of it, but I like those skeletons even less, so. Yeah, that's the anxiety, isn't it? I hate how insistent jobs are in giving them their phone number, or no, them having your phone number to call you with, because it's like I have a trash phone, not a trash phone actually, to be fair, a trash phone company that doesn't even reliably like connect me with calls. So every time I could, I would just fill out something like, I would prefer that you did not insist on calling me because that doesn't really work very well. Which is just, that's sort of the unfortunate thing because phone calls are such a plagued mess. Oh, attacked by your own minions. Oh my god. Couldst. Oh lord. This boss is so annoying. Yeah, like email, text, all of these are better. Like, I don't even use phone calls or text messages anymore, hardly at all. Just because, like, phones are unreliable, and so too, to an extent, are text messages. Like, Discord, at least, for instance, is genuinely much better than most messaging because if Discord doesn't send a message, you generally know it's not sent that message. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that. Unfortunate, but okay. Sure, I guess. I don't have an active item. This active item isn't bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. Yeah, I barely even use my phone for actual calls or text anymore. I only use Discord just because it's more reliable and also the people I actually talk to and want to talk to are the ones on my Discord, generally speaking. In that respect, I am unfortunately kind of a boomer, despite only being like 23. I don't use Snapchat and I have no idea how TikTok works. Like people send TikToks and things or link to their TikToks, and I'm just like, I have never clicked on a TikTok link in my life, and you know what? I'm not starting now. Oh, god damn it. Why did I think that was the door? Uh, yes, I may start investing and get off my lawn t-shirts. Perhaps. I think I'm 23. Right. That's math. Yeah, I'm 23. Okay. I often forget my age. I used to forget my name sometimes, but my current name, I was actually named by someone very important to me, and it was a whole thing. And I don't forget that one anymore. Harsh, but probably fair. A spider butt is a kind of cool item because of all the spiders it spawns. If you don't use it for the slow, but instead just use it for the damage. But my goodness, the damage is not very high. One of these floors I'll eventually get a double deal. Not this floor. Yep, there it goes. I knew that was going to happen before it even happened because this room is bullshit. You know what? Fuck it. Oh, good lord. Well, that thing was on a fast fuse. Those following troll bombs are just not my idea of a good time. Dark Alliance? What's that? Oh, that does sound fun. Please don't be an extremely annoying big room. Oh, look, it's actually wait. Oh my god, I love Spider Butt. It can one-shot sniper worms. It's a perfect item. I don't care how many other things it doesn't one-shot. It can kill sniper worms in one go. That's like the most important quality. Like it can't even kill these guys in one shot. But sniper worms just get obliterated. And you know what? That is enough. That is what I need out of an IOE item. If it kills sniper worms for me, I'm probably okay with it, as these things go. Tech X again? Sure, why not? Actually, wait. Oh shit, I said that complainingly because, it's a synergy item. Except I just remembered I have Spoonbender, which has some, let's call it, interesting interactions with Tech X. Yeah, yeah. Spoonbender Tech X is one of those broken combinations that makes the two items both better by its very existence alone. Like, Spoonbender Tech X is one of the synergies that make it good. And yeah, that's fair. Okay, please have health in here. Oh lord, that is not health. That is not even resembling health. Okay, I guess the fire is gonna get me covered. You know what? For luck, I'll give you this. And yeah, I get that. Spending money on stuff can just be tricky. Like it helps for me specifically because I'm a streamer and I want to ideally actually turn this into my career. So I can actually buy certain games that would be good for streaming and just write it off and say, well, I bought this for work related purposes, and it's totally true and believable. TMCR, etc. Oh god, bomb! Why did you have to do this? I don't want that item. Anyway, dead cat's fine. Yeah, it's a serious mode. I do. I just don't want to backtrack all the way to that curse room, especially considering it would take away my only soul heart. So, curse of the blind. Well, that's annoying. But you can kind of see how strong this combination can be just based off the fact that I don't have any damage ups whatsoever. Hey, maybe someday. That is the dream, isn't it? I don't need to be rich, although it'd be cool to be rich because there's a lot of people I know that I would like to help. And like, if I ever get like super successful, I'm just gonna straight up like, oh God, what the no, Emperor. Oh God, this also sucks. What are these rooms? This floor is just not my friend. And yeah, I wouldn't forget you. I have a terrible memory, but I don't think I'd forget. Hmm. Huh. I actually managed to handle a monster fight without taking damage. I guess. Okay, well, this is. I mean, I'm gonna trade a life for one of these, but like. Uh. Fair. Okay, pick a direction, left or right. Hoped. Your wisdom is unparalleled. Good job. Yeah, sure. Key for a key, plus those little key boxes can drop things sometimes, so. Yeah, the funny thing is, Tech X and Spoonbender is actually a lot more broken than it seems. It's why even just this one tiny damage up has suddenly massively increased my effective damage. Because Tech X ticks super duper often along the line, but it's relatively rare. Oh god, please don't hit me in the ass. So that's fine. For it's relatively difficult to aim Tech X properly. And it generally isn't like consistently hitting. But with Spoonbender or other similar psychic shots, it is consistently hitting. It is in fact hitting extremely consistently. Which makes its extremely fast hit rate very, very valuable. Also, I keep not letting Darkbone pick up red health. Pick it up, little buddy. Yeah, Dark Bomb is most assuredly an item I'm very happy to receive. Why did I go back into this room? I already know what this room is. Oh good, I'm just barely above the speed level. If I was a bit slower, that would have sucked. Okay, and then what you got for me? Another black heart. I appreciate it, but I wanted a soul heart so I could go into the curse room without wasting a black heart. Yeah, that's a mood. It's like still 80 degrees here, which like it's not 100 degrees. And you know what? Right now I'm very happy that it is not 100 degrees. But 80 degrees is still not my idea of a good time. Nice. Oh, cool. This is the charge one. Yeah, I ain't gonna call you wrong if I'm honest. Sure, heck it, why not? I'm gonna do it. If this is good, it is good. You know what, I'm just gonna go... What are you? The stars. Okay, it is depth 1, so the stars is still good. Okay, I'm just gonna do this, grab this, sharp rock. Unfortunately... Oh, hi there, Try-Shot. Nice to see you. Dark Bum, why must you betray me so? And yeah, that was about my reaction to it, honestly. I spent a lot of time under or in cold water. Let me tell you, I think I've talked about being tall before. It is not all it's cracked up to be, and not being able to like fully settle into cold, like a cold bath, because you're just too tall for it, is the worst. I have a Guppy piece, and Guppy would be absurdly broken with this because of how fast TechX ticks, so I'll go in here. Wasn't worth it at all. Oh, god dang it. Okay, let's go back in here and pick up the devil or the stars. Let's take the stars, because we already have enough damage, really. I mean, if I could, I would stop being tall, if I'm honest. You know what my ideal height is? 4'7". If I could be 4'7" in an instant, I would be. You know what my height is? 6'1". There's a slight difference between these two numbers. Curse of the Blind again? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I'd donate them. If I could just give my height away to random people who want it, I totally would. Wait, I should have taken that boss room item. Maybe I'll deliberately lose this black heart just so I can go in there. You know what? I will. Okay, there we go. Let's do that. Someday they will generate, or they will create a procedure to just transfer height, and it will be a glorious day. Okay. Mr. Dolly is already an incredible item, but it's actually even better than usual. Also, I really need shot speed down. It's funny, TechX is one of those very few items where you don't want high shot speed at all. Okay. Because high shot speed is detrimental since it doesn't affect the damage it does at all. So instead what it does is just reduce the time that your attack has to do damage because it passes by everything faster. Did that shot have rubber cement on it? It bounced off the wall, which I don't think it generally does. Okay. Black Candle, I just unlocked you. Please? The Boomerang, you are the opposite of Black Candle in that you suck. I refuse. Where's Black Candle when you need it? Oh, Lord. I am at least glad I have this kind of attack when I'm facing this kind of room. Because a normal attack would make that room so annoying to deal with. I appreciate that, as long as you don't mean radioactive. It's probably not good to be radioactive. But the other meaning of rad is probably pretty solid. Lucky Penny. Ooh, that one. Nice. You know, legally, that is completely true. That is undeniably, in fact. What in the world? Hold up. Explosivo works as Tech X? Why? I kind of love it, but why? What in the world? Huh. Yeah, compliments are, legally speaking, a good thing. I'm terrible at taking them, and not that great at giving them, but they are good. I'd compliment you, but I don't know you very well, ultimately. Well, I can say that you're definitely an awesome Twitch viewer to have and really good to talk to. Well, I've got a reroll now, and before I absolutely never ever get a floor that doesn't have Curse the Blind on it, and reroll's completely worthless. Which is an option. But yeah. I don't know, I have compliment problems. Not in the too many sense, more in the my brain automatically hisses when receiving compliments. Am I gonna just reroll this? Come home to me, Black Candle. You are, again, not Black Candle. Although, actually, you know what? Sure. Let's just delete the boss. I refuse to do this work. Sometimes you just don't want to do work, so you just do that. Money equals power. Interesting. And Guppy's collar. Ah, it's worth it. Little dicey, but worth it. Okay, please give me a soul heart. No soul heart, unfortunate. But yeah, speak the truth. I like telling people true and nice things. Except when I tell people the true and nice thing and they think I'm flirting with them and it's awkward and it's like, no, I wasn't flirting with you. I don't really flirt with people. There was this one time, actually a couple times, and it's just like, no, that's not what I was doing. It was good. I don't know. My relationship with compliments is strange. Guppy. Nope. You'd think, but apparently not. And also, oh god, am I gonna take cursed? Eh. To be fair, in this instance, they were my ex, and there is some complicated history. So, like, it doesn't explain it, but I get why it was a whole thing. What? Oh, it respawned them. Okay. Wait, does Cursed Eye even work on this? The answer to that question appears to be sort of. Actually, no, it appears to be not even slightly. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just terrible at taking. What the heck? Oh, I forgot that. Oh, I got the item. That's what happened. I was like, what is going on? Why do I have this? And I was like, oh, I must. It's because I have $3 bill. And it must have given me a tier effect that does that. I think I even know what it is. It's that little horn item. This one is really cool, but I'm not entirely certain it is strong enough to survive. That reminds me of that run that was going so well until I decided to go to the Hush. Remember, folks, never go to the Hush with beam attacks, because Hush hard caps your damage dealt to it in ludicrously unfair ways that make beam attacks mostly useless, even with Guppy. I don't know. People are weird about things. Of course, I can't judge too much because I've been weird about a great many things myself, but you know, still. Can I even? Actually, yes, I can get in because it's a Bibble. So here we go. Oh, god dang it. Uh, well, I can't get back in there, so. Weird but true. Just, I think this floor is right off at this point. But yeah, like I used to and still do to some extent have some. Oh, fuck you. Well, okay. You one sliver of health left. Goodbye. Ooh, damage. Thank you. Oh, wait, I should have let Dark Bone pick that up. Okay, let's do these. Is there anything? Just do a couple of quick checks. Okay, everything is in order. Okay. Gosh, darn it. I ain't getting no devil deal no time soon. Okay, please keep giving me red chests and give me... Ooh, nice. I just need one guppy piece, and then this run is busted and disgusting. Unfortunately, right now, this run is working off of one pretty strong combo and very little else. Okay, what are you? Soul Heart, okay. What are you? Free opening of the chest? Yes, nice. Interesting. I was talking about something, wasn't I? Oh yeah, compliments. Because, like, I didn't, and to a very real extent still don't, particularly like myself. So for the longest time, compliments just sound red weird to me, and I was not the best at social situations, so I avoided complimenting people just out of worry of seeming weird. But lately, I've been doing a lot better, although better, not completely great. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then go back here and into there. That's really nice. I'm trying to let myself just compliment and say nice things about people. I was doing a bit better before that issue with somebody thinking I was like being weird and flirting or something, and I was just like, what? I'm just complimenting you because you are my friend. But oh well. It's not exactly their fault either, after all. One can't control perfectly the things one's own mind does. It's funny. We are, to such an extent, our minds. Like we are manifestations and. Oh, wait, is this? Ah, it has no effect. If that had an effect, it would actually be kind of broken because it would keep them in the same place for longer. Oh, heck. Where is the. There it is. I don't know if you could see that brightness down suddenly happening. That was because. Yeah. Like, I can't even fully blame people because people can be, like, creepy and stuff. And there's this whole weird, like, cultural association where people are only nice to each other, or, like, particularly. Especially, like, in a number of ways, but. Oh, goodness, did not mean to pick that up. Fair enough. Guppy. Yes, thank you. Also, yeah, I'm gonna just do that. Bibble. Thank you. Now this run is over. I no longer have to work. My working time is now at its end. And that's why. Ooh. Yeah. To be fair, that's not so much generally the people's fault, the people involved's fault, because there is a very real cultural norm, but I do think the cultural norm is kind of fucked up. I'm just not going to do the work for this boss fight, honestly. Skipped, like the cultural norm where people only give compliments if they're trying to get in somebody's pants, and it's just like, or you could just be nice to people because being nice to people is nice, and people being nice to you is nice. Like, I feel like that's sort of a foundational concept of society functioning well that people have kind of forgotten about and started trying to write off. Like, being nice to people and helping other people out is nice. It's kind of found fundamentally what humans got into the whole being a society thing for. Because, you're nice to people, they're nice to you. you exchange this, and you keep watch out for you watch each other's backs, and boom, suddenly you've got a society going that works pretty nicely because you actually help each other out. Like there's this weird cultural thing, especially in like, and I don't mean to trash talk straight people, but like in heterosexual culture, where like it's this weird norm and expectation that people are only giving compliments to receive something or do something. And when it's like, it's good to just give people compliments to be nice to people, you know? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. My god, don't get me started on negging. I hate that shit. I call that psychological. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's good to just give compliments to people without expectations. Yeah, being nice is nice. It's nice to be nice to people. And it's just like there's this weird cultural thing where people are like, oh, it's for something, or it needs to be for something, and it's weird if it isn't, or like it's immature. Sometimes they even go like it's immature because like it's childish to just be nice to people. It's like it's nice to be nice to people. Uh, nice. Yeah, like that's exactly what I was talking about. There's this weird expectation where like being nice is like childish or something. It's just nonsense. Like, because like people want you to just like be an aggressive asshole and just like be a jerk to people and like only pursue your own benefit. And it's like, but why though? Piercing shot and brimstone, okay, and power pill. That's kind of a waste, but oh well. This active item's nice, certainly. Can't really complain about this. You know, like yeah, the funny thing about this active item is it's temporary brimstone, but even if you get brimstone, because they updated brimstone to stack favorably, it's actually still a good active item because it just gives you a bigger, heavier hitting brimstone on the same cooldown. Ah, really, game? Why'd you do this to me? Well, I don't know. I dislike that whole cultural thing. It is nonsense. These lump of meat enemies are the worst. Yeah, honestly, my earnest advice is just keep being nice. People got a problem with that? Fuck that. Just gotta be nice. Like, people. Oh, god dang it. Ah, that's a mess. Oh well. I guess I might as well keep playing Kane. Curse of the Unknown, but I have 2 red health. I know this. Curse of the Unknown on the first floor is only really dicey when you're playing Eden, because then you could have, like, 1 singular soul heart, or you could have, like, 3 red health and a soul heart. Albeit, I think you'd only have 3 red health and a soul heart if you had an item related to one of those stats, but still. Well, that's a nice chest to get. Well, I don't know. I had. Oh, 2020, sure. We've had the discussion before, 2020, it is an 80% damage reduction now, but because it doubles your effective damage, it's still a 100 or an 8, a 160% damage increase, or it makes your damage 160% of what it would be. Heck if I know. Probably just because I'm completely unknown thus far. Also, sometimes I do get grumpy, to be fair. I don't like to be. When I get grumpy is usually when I know to end streams. I appreciate that. The awards committee is truly venerable. Yeah, I suppose that's fair enough. It is not a game that is particularly nice to the player. Oh, the Hierophant, nice. Oh, Monstro, nice. Monstro is nice because I can just turn my brain off and rely on muscle memory. Like, normal base Monstro fight, it's almost weirder to me when I take damage than when I don't. Actually, it is weirder when I take damage than when I don't. I've just fought this dude so many times, and he's so predictable. It's like my brain just sort of shuts off and goes into fighting monstro mode. Just move this way, fire. Move this way, fire. Dodge through the tiers. Yeah, what was I talking about before? I don't remember. Oh well. What's in here? Well, that was not worth it. Unless. That wasn't completely worth it, but it was a nice reward to get, so I'm not going to complain too much. It's like, would I trade a soul heart for. Oh, god dang it. Would I trade a soul heart for getting hit by a champion for no reason? The answer to that question is no. Unfortunately, I just did. Would I trade a soul heart for a hitbox size down? Not with this much health, but it's not a purely bad thing either. And again, honestly, like, would I trade hearts for like mini mush in the devil deal? Yeah, I would. But to be fair, mini mush is also a speed up and a range up, so it's generally a bit better. You know what's not better? Those enemies after they added the green acid attack to them. Especially because they still leave them in massive hordes. Well, that's annoying, because I'd like both of those items, but it's extremely unlikely I get either of those items. And the only reason I actually came in there was because I wanted a soul heart. Oh my goodness. This is going to be another run where I just don't get any double deals throughout most of it, isn't it? Or it might be a run where I just die, actually. I was talking about something, I lost my train of thought, and now I have no idea what it was. Might have just been nothing. Sometimes I just ramble about nothing, and then mentally wander off from my rambling. Well, that's unfortunate. I cannot wait for it to be winter again. Someday. God dang it. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can go to this curse room, and if I can't, I am quitting this run. Well, I can, but was it worth it? Okay, kind of. I guess I really should have gone to the. Damn it. This. Yeah. 2020 is one of those items that they just nerfed for literally no reason. Like, it did not need a negative damage multiplier ever, under any circumstances. And yeah, it's still an okay item because it's still a damage up overall, but that's just a really unpleasant change. Because, like, it was nerfed by taking 40% off of its damage at all stages with all synergies. Actually, I say that, no, even more than that, because it's a 0.8 damage multiplier, where everything only does 0.8 of the damage it otherwise would. So if you get even more, like, quad shot and stuff, yeah, the creators seem to have a weirdly, like, competitive point of view on the game. Like, nerfing items is just fucking weird. And, like, not competitive as in, like, they want it to be a competitive game, but competitive as in they're, like, competing with the players. Like, in D&D terms, it's like they're playing DM like they're playing against their players, not like they're having an experience with their players, you know? Why did I do that? just wanted this. Well, that would have been more worth it if I hadn't wasted that. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's just no reason to nerf it. Like, some enemy buffs to do interesting things, sure, it is a roguelike especially, but like, the across the board, very poorly thought out shot speed and attack speed up, it was just like, it feels a lot of the times like they're basing their design and balancing decisions off of people in the community being dicks and going like, oh, the game is too easy and all that. It's just like, no, it's not, and it's just getting more and more punishing for new players. Like, I could not comfortably recommend this DLC to new players ever. Like, it is genuinely worse enough in enough ways that I would not recommend this new DLC to a new player. Like, would I recommend this DLC to an experienced player? Yeah, probably, because if you know what you're doing, there's a bunch of cool new items and cool new synergies that do really interesting things. So if you already know and like this game, you'll probably enjoy it. But like, for new players, there's so many like early floor enemies that are so incredibly overbuffed for no reason whatsoever. Like the lump of meat enemies stand out here. Like the lump of meat enemies are a common enemy type on the very first floor, and they are now incredibly difficult to not take multiple hits from unless you know how to angled shoot. And angled shooting is not a natural, like, it is not a natural expectation for people to know. Yeah, seriously. I like the fact that when they were going through adding champion variants to a bunch of things, which is a genuinely cool thing to do, but they added a champion variant of Duke of Flies to the very first floor, who can spawn on the very first floor, who is literally impossible unless you have a very strong run already on the first floor when you will have gotten, most likely, one item. Like the gray champion version of Duke of Flies, you cannot defeat him because he spawns the double flies, which take a ridiculous amount of shots to kill early, and also when they split up, will spawn into or will turn into enemies that each take 2 further shots for normal characters to kill. So unless you're playing Judas or got really lucky with your item, you can't kill that boss or first floor. Like, there's just no way because you have to bare minimum be able to one-shot basic red flies, which is an extremely rare condition to be met on the first floor after one item room. And if you can't, the chances of you beating that boss successfully are extremely low to non-existent. You'd have to get like a bunch of bombs and bomb him to death, and even then, that is also something you can't rely on. Yeah, I appreciate that. But like, the game, there's a lot of really cool like stuff and really cool new synergies, and there's a lot of huge problems. And honestly, I could even probably live with all the difficulty ups as a player because it is a roguelike game, and while some of them need to be removed or reverted or changed because they are genuinely just too much, like you should not have a boss that can spawn on the first floor that is just literally unbeatable if you're playing any normal character without a significant damage up. Like if you're playing Isaac and you don't get a large damage up and or a large tears up or piercing, like, and you get that boss on the first floor, you will never beat it. Ever. It's not a matter of skill. He's just going to spawn more enemies than you could ever kill and just overwhelm you. Like they must have thought like, oh, we're just gonna have it spawn a fly variant, of course. So we should just give it the 2 red fly variant, where when it spawns, or when it has a bunch of health, and when it gets killed, it turns into 2 red flies. Except that completely breaks the boss fight. Oh, okay, Brimstone. 2020 Brimstone. I'm never gonna say no. Nice. Because those double red flies have like more than twice the health of the thing that the normal version of the boss spawns, and then they spawn more red flies. So practically speaking, they have like probably around 5 times more effective health than the normal, just slightly larger red fly version that the basic boss fight spawns. And like a spectacularly weak run, like Eden, where you get like super low damage and fire rate, can already become unwinnable if it gets monster or if it gets Duke of Flies, because Duke of Flies will just spawn more enemies than it can kill. And then you have this boss fight where, unless you're actually strong, it's just the end of your run, which I just don't like. Anyway, I've probably talked about this for too long. But this, oh goodness, that's annoying. This update really feels like a shotgun approach. Like they added a lot of stuff, they added a lot of like new stuff, new synergies, new items, a lot of really cool new stuff and new ideas, but it wasn't very well thought out. And like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't like mesh properly, doesn't like causes issues with the gameplay, all that jazz. Also, I really feel like they might not have playtested sufficiently for like the new player experience, because like I have a mostly complete save file. Oh my god, I'm just gonna restart this run. But I have a mostly complete save file, and it feels pretty good to play on that and see all the new things and do all the cool stuff. But like, I'm doing this new save play file or new save playthrough, and like starting from a new save is really unpleasant on this DLC. And I'm an experienced player. I can't imagine how a new player would deal with this. Like, this game is incredibly unfriendly to new players now. Cat, strictly speaking, but yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the job of a phase, you know? Yeah, and you're not wrong. I can't blame you for feeling like that. Like, I had a save file from. Okay, no. Before this, so I could just jump into the new content, but most people can't, and they've made. They've perhaps accidentally made the process of getting to the point where you can far, far more tedious. Yeah, like that's what I would classify this DLC as. a really cool update for experienced and returning players, and just an awful experience for new players. Ah, that's annoying. Nice. Actually, yeah, I have Guppy's Tail. It's just an incredible item. When you have this, yeah, take this. Especially because the funny thing is, going through the new floors they added is clearly better balanced. Like, the projectile speed isn't on inappropriate enemies. Like, they can be a little frustrating, but it's normal for a roguelike. Levels of frustrating, not you are going to die or take a lot of damage and you have no choice. So, like, I genuinely feel like they probably just mostly playtested the new content on, like, finished save files or, like, strong save files and, like, okay. I need to remember you can't deal with point blank range shit anymore because point blank range will just get you one tapped. Like, could I have dodged that shot? Maybe if I'd properly, like, pre-dodged, it's sort of good. But practically speaking, no, not really. And I don't want to completely shit talk the devs or anything, because a lot of work clearly went into this DLC, and they are not a big team to my knowledge. So, like, I'm not saying I have no understanding for what happened, but I do think the situation with this DLC does need some updating, to be sure. Like, yep. Like, when I'm dying in this game or taking hits, I should be feeling like I fucked up or maybe could have outplayed that if I'd done better. I don't like feeling like I've taken damage or died in this game because the game has fucked me over. Like, that's not fun. And a lot of times that's the accurate feeling. And before I get the boss variant I was complaining about before here. Is it? No, it's the non-champion version. Yeah, like you can see those big red flies. They take like 2 or 3 shots depending on how high your damage is. The variants that the big version spawn, or the variants that the champion version spawn, take 5 to 7 shots and then spawn 2 more red flies that take 2 to 4 shots, which gets a bit unreasonable. I don't remember what this does. I'll take it with me though. Like, there's so many good and interesting changes. Like, there's so many new synergies between items that are really cool or really fun, and so many new items that are really cool or really fun. And then there's just a bunch that are just useless or unfun or nerfed versions of old items that were already perfectly fine. Like, I think the perfect example is both 2020 and Humbling Bundle were nerfed. To be fair to that, it's probably because I have the game design abilities of a frog. I'm a writer with a lot of thoughts, but I'm not a programmer. Programming is terrifying. Like math. Incredible. I picked up that red health, that door opened, and then just slammed in my face again. And like with that, I do want to say that like I don't like begrudge them entirely, because I do understand that putting this out with the sheer number of updates and changes that were done this DLC are like that's going to be incredibly difficult. And of course, some stuff slipped through, especially because the new floors that they added, if you have access to them, are actually pretty solid. But I sincerely hope that they update. Goodness, what does this button do? Ah, it does that. Okay. I just cannot get Devil Deal on the second floor to save my life lately. It's not great. Harsted poor frogs. But yeah, frogs are good. I was distracted from it, but yeah, frogs are a lot of fun. Strange, croaky little creatures. On the other hand, I could do this, but on the other hand, I refuse. On one hand, I could do this, on the other hand, I refuse. Yeah, that's what I meant. But to be fair to the, I keep saying that, but like a lot of the stuff that's a problem feels less complete design fuck up and more understandable oversight when adding like 1,000 new things to a game. Also, this room sucks so much. Oh my god. Nope, I refuse. Heck it. You just gonna kill me? Not quite, but nearly. But yeah, like a lot of the stuff, I won't like hold against the devs or anything unless like years later it's still not patched or changed. But some of the stuff I do genuinely strongly disagree with, like the nerf to certain items, it just felt unnecessary and kind of petty. Like Humbling Bundle and 2020 were perfectly fine items that didn't break anything. They were just nice to have. Like 2020 was never the item that you looked at and were like, "Oh yeah, I've got that. This is a broken run now. It's so overpowered." It's, "Oh, 2020. I do twice as much damage now. This is really cool. Nice item to have." Like I feel like they nerfed a bunch of the items that were like not busted, just like, "Oh, this is nice to have." Oh, god dang it. Well, now I hope I don't die because this is one of my favorite items in the game. I guess I'm going in here. Well, I didn't get anything in here. Nice. Oh, shit. I forgot these things don't, like, fully exist until later. Nice. I'm just not gonna get any... I'm gonna do one bomb here. Yeah. Which is a little difficult when you only have half a red health. I could take this, which could be good later on. I could take one. Actually, I'm gonna take these. The stopwatch on the right, I don't want that one because it's a double-edged sword. It can slow down enemies, but it... Oh, wait. Do I want to try for this? Okay, I can't kill this thing. Yeah. Well, that sucks. Oh. Oh my god, these enemies are so annoying. Like, I do appreciate that they at least made it so these enemies don't do actual damage when they're attacking you. They just drain your batteries. But these enemies are still so goddamn annoying. But yeah, that is a tragedy. Because Contagion is such a nice item to have. And oh, this is such a not nice item to have. That item back there isn't purely bad, to be fair. It's just annoying and kind of boring. Full health. Okay, that's definitely not bad. Yeah. This game can definitely be frustrating. I actually want Nightlight if I can get it. Which I can. Nice. Yeah. Again. Seriously. Okay, I think if I just... Oh, god dang it. Don't do that. And use Nightlight, I'll be fine. Except not. That enemy's projectiles either glitched or were just functioning weirdly. Actually, I know what that was. That was probably shot height, where those projectiles were technically in that space, but they were just at a shot height that they appeared a bit higher off the ground, and thus I was confused about their hitbox. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I need something fresh. I'm getting the same frustrating stuff over and over again, so let's switch to Belial or Eve. Judas, because Eve doesn't have her razor unlocked. Wait, what? Seriously, game? Why are you like this? Not game. Frickin'. Uh, Streamlabs is so annoying. Oh, and it deleted all of my tags. Incredible. I hate Streamlabs a lot sometimes. Especially because lately it started to not update properly and delete random things from my stream stuff, which is just like not great. Especially with this game, because this is a game with an actual like viewer base where people will look at the category. So like not to say necessarily Caves of Cud isn't, but that one's not as popular and definitely doesn't have as strong a viewer base, I don't think. Especially not after the DLC for this on the sure open, unlocked, whatever. Words. English language. Can I speak it? No. Can I play this game? Not really. Curse is lost. Oh my god. Well, that's nice, but also pointless, because can I sacrifice myself? No? Well then, we know how this ends. No. Yeah, Streamlabs is being really fucking annoying lately. Like, people find streamers by tags and by game playing, or the game they're playing, and even to some extent, even to a much lesser extent, by title. So when Streamlabs decides to just not update the game I'm playing or the title of the stream, it's really annoying. Or delete my tags. And oh, nice. Puppies are good. They just are. Why? I had. So. Goody. Yeah, that's fair. Both of those jobs can be kind of soul crushing, though. Shelters, especially. A lot of injured pets and assholes who are people. Jerks to pets. That's his main difference is in an animal shelter, you'll see a lot of sad stuff, but you'll also at least generally be helping and being able to reject people. And in a PetSmart, you're probably generally just gonna have to help people no matter what, because it's corporate business. Although to be fair, I don't know a lot about either, so I could be completely wrong. Nice people are. Uh, am I gonna lose my double deal chance? I would like to not, but I have very low speed, and that's not good. Nice. Wishbone, sure. Wishbone isn't great, but it's fine. It's certainly worth carrying because it's basically just a low chance whenever I get hit to just drop an item. I can't remember from what pool it is, but I think it's an okay pool. Ah, God, that's annoying. But and another bad item. I'm probably gonna end stream soon. My patience with the game is running thin. That's never good. Most people tend to say different things. More similar to what you said first, but in reverse. I can be a bit of a unwholesome type. Nah, it's not even quite the right. But how did my aunt used to say it? Be with an itch. Oh, sure. I don't know. I've spent a lot of time in my life trying to be a nicer person, with some success, but it's certainly not something that exactly comes to me naturally per se. Having a speed down right now is kind of unfortunate. Oh my god, and of course, sniper worms are such absolute nonsense. Yeah, I'm nicer now, but I definitely used to be not the nicest person in the world. Uh, Sniper worms were already the worst before they started firing faster shots. What in the world? Yeah, and hopefully the variety is going to pick up because I'm maybe getting my older, better computer repaired. The problem is right now it's just very limited in what I can play. Like I could play FTL, but the thing is FTL is even more frustrating than this game. I could play or Slay the Spire, but that's not really my favorite style of game. uh, Fair enough, but I think that would also get old fast for me. Okay, well, Little Plum seems to be very useful. Goodness. Kind of just cleaned out a bunch of enemies. Alrighty then, Dime. You have my attention. What's in here? Nothing especially worth my time. Yeah, like my pool of games is like FTL, Slay the Spire, this game, and Minecraft. And right now I'm kind of just a bit burnt out on all of them to varying degrees. But Binding of Isaac is the most chill one. RTS is going to be interesting, but I'm not super good with playstyle. I've mostly been like FPS, some MOBA, top-down roguelike type stuff. Little Plum, how do you feel about me just sitting in the corner and letting you kill all these enemies eventually? You seem to be doing a perfectly fine job, honestly. Oh, nice, Sigrun's. And yeah, it's not a lot of activity on that server right now, because I'm still a very small streamer, so there's not many people on. Most of the people in there aren't viewers, really. They're just friends. Some of them stop by occasionally. Yeah. It's pretty quiet. If I ever get to the point of greater success, hopefully it'll pick up a bit, but for now, maybe. Lately, honestly, I've just been so freaking tired from the heat that I've just been doing next to nothing. Like, I've been wanting to play WoW recently, but like, the weather's just been so awful, I haven't been getting anything done. I've played like a grand total of an hour of video games over the past few days, mostly at night. And spent the rest of it mostly just lying around, half or more dead. That's when I'm truly dead. What? Why is the map broken suddenly? Not sure. It's not just broken anymore. Wait, what? Oh, I thought this trinket was useless, but it's not. It's just annoying. It lets me fire over walls, so I don't have to deal with these stupid corridors. This room? This room is bullshit now, post the update. because those head things fire faster shots at a faster rate. What? I don't even know what killed me there. But something did. I'm sure dead. Isn't this... Well, I guess that's a lot of cash, but I hate this item, so I'm not sure how much I care. Okay, I'll go to the shop. And if there's a really cool shop item in it, I'll do something there. But if there isn't, I give up. Well, that room was annoying. Didn't mean to go up there. Thank goodness gracious. Could I just walk properly? Well, what are you? What are you? Oh, Joker. Okay, well, you could be good then. Joker, what you got for me? I mean, fuck it. Let's see how long this lasts for. I cannot imagine this will go very well. I just wonder. What I could do, I could use the tower in two different ways. I could use the tower to help me kill the boss in here, or I could go back to that room with the chest in it and use the tower to blow that up. Yeah, okay. Let's just move it into the center of the room so it's guaranteed to get hit. Nice. Okay, that was not really worth it. I even got an item, but unfortunately the item I got isn't great. Because it got indirectly nerfed. 8-ball used to be perfectly fine until they changed it till shot speed doesn't affect range. And so now a shot speed up item is kind of worthless. And I do appreciate that. I'm here to entertain, after all. What do you got for me? Health generation? No. Maybe. This room is gonna be a problem. Yep. Oh, good point. I should have done that. I don't think it would have made a difference in that room there, but oh well. The room that I died in, that is. But yeah, overall, I definitely should have done it. What? Oh, why did I not notice that? Okay, I'm definitely too tired. Let's just play a bit of Azazel, and then I'll probably end stream after this run. Ah, not many these days, honestly. Right now, it's mostly just like, wow. There was Genshin for a while, but I would not recommend Genshin. Genshin has some fun stuff going on in it, and it's also a gacha game, which means it is a plague upon this earth. Gambling mechanics, folks, not even once. I guess. This active item is so bad. Like, I'm not even being mean when I say it's worthless. It just literally is worthless. Like, look at that. In a perfect position to do something, it did, well, actually, I guess it did do the trail. Which is not nothing. But it's not good neither. Exactly. It's just trying to prey on people's gambling problems. And, like, I don't entirely blame, like, the devs or people involved with games necessarily. Because generally speaking, that's not really a decision made on their level. It's a decision made on the company level, where it's like, we want to make an absurd amount of money, so we want a gacha game. Hey, I hate like loot boxes and gambling mechanics and all that bullshit. Fuck that. Range up, not bad. What? Okay, I guess this one's okay if I recall correctly. Oh, plus it gives me a neat lavender brimstone. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, and it works with brimstone. Nice. Oh, that's unfortunate. But honestly, at least Genshin is like free to play, so at least it has an excuse to include like fucking gambling monetization, even if gambling monetization is still incredibly shitty. But like, then you get into games like Overwatch, which also has gotcha mechanics, and it's just like, fuck you. God, I still remember all the defenders of Overwatch who were like, oh, to be fair, I can't entirely fault the people doing the defending because it was a very popularized defense at the time, But the whole defense was, oh, it's cosmetic, it's not for gameplay. But the thing is, it's gambling monetization. For starters, it's gambling monetization built into a game that costs $60 to buy, which is fucking laughable. It should be criminal, especially considering it's targeted at kids. But then you get into things like the fact that it is a part of the gameplay, because the gameplay loop of Overwatch doesn't change. You're going to be playing the same characters on somewhat different maps forever. The only thing the only like progression system, the only growth system, the only like core loop is getting those cosmetics. I appreciate that. Also, god dang it, this is so annoying. See, this is why I genuinely want a mod to disable this stupid Devil Deal change. Because I should be able to get Brimstone right now, but they made this annoying, ridiculous change, and it's just like, why? Why does this need to kill me now? Like, yeah, if I'd taken less damage or whatever, but still, I dislike that it's a thing at all. Is modding a thing again yet? Because if it is, I'm definitely going to be adding some mods. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Sometimes I thought about doing streaming more as like a talking about like philosophy and ethics and that kind of stuff. And I think I might in the future, but it's the kind of thing that you need an audience for, so you have people to actually talk to you about it with. Yeah, like that whole thing just always enraged me. It's all part of the whole capitalist nonsense where it's like a game or a business cannot just be, functional, run perfectly fine, self-sufficient. Instead, a corporate like product has to be the most. It has to make all of the money. It has to make insane amounts of money constantly, and it has to keep doing it forever because it has to please people who want that money. I appreciate that because I do ramble a lot about random nonsense. Oh, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the whole profit incentive mess. But it's like it's an incredibly unhealthy system that just destroys companies and destroys people's lives. Because like, here's an example: Patreon. Patreon is a perfectly profitable, self-sufficient business that has done fine for itself and its employees. But it keeps trying to make updates and changes solely because it always needs to be making more money and increasing profits. When, like, just having a steady income that pays all your employees and provides, oh dang it, accidentally dropped that, a useful service should be enough. Like, that should be fine. That's a reasonable business model. But because of how stocks and all that shit works, that's just not a business model that's common anymore. And it's like, a lot of the problems in games come down to that. Like, there are two big things that are, like, just actually plagues upon modern society in this respect. And it's ridiculous salaries for managerial positions corporations where like the CEOs and such will be paid absurd amounts more money than anyone else. And then if any problems arise, guess who's getting the bite? It's the regular employees. And then there's the ridiculous profit chasing where a reasonable normal profit isn't enough. You have to have absurd profits. You have to be constantly making more and more and more money. And if you slow down, well, oh, time to fire people, lay people off, and restructure, and it's just complete madness. Like a lot of the big video game businesses don't remotely need any of these monetization schemes at all. They just don't. If they were run just reasonably and responsibly and didn't pay their CEOs ridiculous outsized tens or hundreds of millions of dollars in cash, they would be fine. Like Activision Blizzard, the company that did all the shady Blizzard shit, like they apparently need that for some reason, except they don't. Because there's a whole bunch there's articles that come out here and again with the right people where like they'll point out where a company is going like, oh, we were short this amount of money, and so we need to lay off a bunch of people or make a bunch more money in monetization schemes and such. I'd like using it as an excuse for like aggressive gambling monetization even. Oh my god, I just give up on this fight. I can't believe I just lost 2 lives to that. Goodness gracious. But then a lot of times look at it, it's like, this shortfall could entirely be and completely be absorbed by the ridiculously outsized paychecks of your CEO and company. Like, there's a lot of just absolute friggin' nonsense. I'd be assassinated day one. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just frustrating. There's so much harm in this world done for no reason, but just because it makes people money. Like the whole. You do have a point there. Man, it's like. Well, speaking of that, the whole, like, massive heat wave and climate change, it's like. The companies that caused the worst of this, knew this was going to happen in, like, the 60s and earlier, but they decided profit was more important and they would get away with it, and they have gotten away with it. That's kind of tragic. Like, even now, there's the whole personal responsibility thing surrounding climate change. And don't get me wrong, to some extent that is important. But a key thing to understand about that is something like 80, 70% of all emissions are done by a small minority of companies who are also lobbying to not stop doing that. Like the fact that we're starting a new Alaskan oil well drilling project for literally no good reason that will massively damage the climate in Alaska and also produce a bunch more oil to further damage the climate. And it's like, the frustrating thing is, oh, what does this even do these days? Huh. Not sure I like that at all, actually. That's unfortunate range up. It really just bugs me because, like, a lot of stuff people knew it was going to happen, and they just let it happen to make money. And it's like, how do you look yourself in the eye and do that? I'm like, even as climate problems bear down on us, and climate refugees start to happen, and all this damage is being done right in front of us, people are still looking for oil to make oil wells. People are still trying to make money and deregulate the industry, and it's just like, I don't know, ethical philosophy. Once you start thinking about it and have an actual accurate, if you have an actual accurate understanding of the world, it's maddening. Like, that people do these things and get away with these things. Also, wow, on a later note, Brimstone and Tech X seem to have real major anti-synergy for some reason. Like, I seem to have just had my mini Brimstone replaced worse off significantly. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just tired and sad and see all the harm that's going to come to people, and it's just unfortunate. That's the frustrating thing. It's just like, okay, so I can only take one of these. I already have flight and spectral tiers, so no, I didn't do anything. So I'm just gonna bomb this guy. But yeah, I don't know. It really does seem kind of like there's nothing that can be done, and that's kind of tragic. Things are gonna get really bad for a lot of people. Yeah, and people, they really don't like it when you point out that money is very fake, because like there's this whole absurd worshipful value placed on it, and it's like, especially nonsensical on the government level, because it's like, oh, how can we pay for helping people or keeping people alive? And it's like, you are a government. Your only value, the only reason people should allow you to exist and hold power and not, I don't know, pull a France, is if you help people. That is the only value a government provides to people. Like, it's one of the things that so utterly frustrates me about America, because in a very real sense, we are a failed society. because we've become such a massive society that we massively perpetuate all of the problems, God dang it, that large societies tend to bring, while also, on top of that, we don't actually do any of the things that a society is supposed to do to help its people and protect people. Like the fact that our healthcare system is such a mockery is just absurd. And like there's all this self-importance about self-important bullshit about bipartisanship or whatever the fuck, but like who cares? You know who cares? Nobody cares. The government's job is not to be bipartisan or cater to this, that, or the other bullshit. The government's job is to help people and run a society so as to benefit and protect as many people as possible. And a government that does not do that is worthless. I am really tired of Tech X, if I'm honest. Especially without even having Spoonbender. It's just annoying. It's not bad, but it's annoying. Yeah, and I can't blame you. The UK has its own problems, a lot of them, but at least they have some form of healthcare or universal healthcare, so they actually take care of its people. Like the UK is a society with a lot of problems, but it's one I wouldn't call an entirely failed society because it actually takes care of its people to some extent, even if there's constant attempts to not do that and do austerity and do all this bullshit. Like I feel like there's this concerted effort to like place government as this inherent good where government is supposed to just like be this inherent structure that holds power. And like bipartisanship and all shit, and, like they keep trying to push it, but it's like government has no purpose besides serving its people, and a government that does not serve its people has failed and is worthless. And yeah, there's a lot of cool people in the UK. My first girlfriend was from the UK. Of course, that relationship was a catastrophe, but she was a really cool person. And I hope she's doing well these days. I don't know. I feel like that's sort of the story of the world right now. A lot of governments failing their own people for their own profit, and then telling their people that they're doing it for them or trying to. Hey, that's a good offer. These enemies are so annoying. This item is mostly useless. Oh, goodness gracious, why did I walk into that? Actually, why didn't I re-roll that? I'm so tempted to just reset this run. If I die once without getting something to make this run more interesting, dang it, I don't actually want that. I just want to end this run. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna call that dead. I'm just straight up not having a good time on that run. I'm gonna reset one more time, and then I'm just gonna play this run out as far as it goes. And after that, it's going to be the end of the stream. Yeah, England. England has a lot of problems, but it's also a really cool place. It's a lot of history. All right, item room. What you got for me? Why would I ever want that? The answer to that question is I wouldn't. Oop, didn't actually need to pick that up, but I can't put it down now, so whatever. Okay. I appreciate that you enjoy the streams, honestly. I streamed daily for quite a while, and for a good stretch there, not many people showed up. Which is, part of streaming and all, but still. Let's kill you so I don't have to deal with two things flying around. Let's see if I can get you to buzz off. Yeah, at the start of this year, for the first several months, I streamed daily every day for at 1 p.m. I think that just pushed the boss below its threshold. Annoying. Like for a good first few months of this year, I streamed pretty regularly at 1 p.m. my time. Unfortunately, the summer heat and some other stuff messed with me. Like I took May off because I was sick, and since then it's just been a mess. January through April was pretty solid. I will someday be back on an actual proper schedule. Like I do still try and stream daily, actually. It's just been a mess lately because of the heat. Well, that's bad. I appreciate that. I really do. Someday I will stream regularly at an actual regular time again. It might not be until after summer though, because warm weather is just not a good time for me. Especially because I don't even have any kind of good AC. Honestly, if I had internet more often at night, I would probably stream pretty regularly at night, but I don't, so it's just its own mess. Yeah, sure. Oh, I have the stabby knife. Nice. I now have two things that can attack my enemies backwards. Which, there are worse things in the world. Thank you for walking slowly forwards onto my knife. I'll still stream during the summer. I just probably won't be able to get on a regular daily stream schedule again until after summer. Like, I'm still gonna try and stream at least once every day, probably with some gaps. Ideally, that massive heat wave would be the only one of the summer, and afterwards it wouldn't get down so low again, but unfortunately, that's not likely. Hello? Oh, jerk. There we go. It is currently 10:41 p.m. for me. Ah, that's unfortunate. Probably can't take a double lead either. No, I cannot. Also because I haven't got any red health. Uh, but I said I was going to play this run out and not reset it. Maybe. Late as heck for you then. Oh, okay. Oh, gee, a reroll machine. Yeah, I'm totally gonna reroll this item. Totally. There is totally a circumstance under which I would ever reroll that item. Can you hear the sincerity in my voice when I say that? I wonder if there's any player of this game that would actually reroll Holy Mantle ever. Maybe like a super speedrunner who thinks they don't will just never take damage, so they don't need it. But even then, it's valuable insurance for them because they're not going to get hit very often. So on the off chance that they do, it prevents that. Like it's holy friggin' mantle. Two clubs, that nice. Yeah, we'll see this for now. Do that, we don't. Let's get. Yeah, time zones are strange. Oh, nice, a better active item because it's an active item I can actually use. Yeah, time zones are weird. That's for sure. Goodness knows I should know. I've dated long distance twice, and both times were different time zones. Oh, I really appreciate that. I try my best. Sure. Ah, strong. I greatly appreciate that too. I've just been getting a bit discouraged about doing this, honestly, and that really helps. Fair, I always knew this was going to be a grind. There's stuff I need to do to get better at it, but it's still a hard thing to stick to, really. Don't care about either of those items. Yeah, I know, it's just hard, you know? Like, I knew setting out into this that I wouldn't have success in it for a long time, or maybe even ever. But still, streaming daily for 4 months to little audience can get a little tiring. At least nowadays, you show up regularly, which is always nice. I would have lost so much health at this point if I didn't have Holy Mantle. Holy Mantle is one of those. Holy Mantle is literally just the perfect item for me because Holy Mantle, like, I mess up a lot, but it's usually isolated mess ups, like once per room, maybe twice if it's particularly unfortunate. Case in point, doing that, walking into that. So having Holy Mantle just saves me so much damage. I appreciate that. I hope so too. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's an entertainment industry. Success is part work and a lot of part hard work and a lot just luck grinding it out. There's more stuff I need to do, honestly. And I want to improve the quality of my streams and such. But a lot of things I need to do that. Like, I've actually got some things going in the works. Like, I've upgraded my mouse that I have a better mouse, a more acceptable mouse quality, which is kind of important for a video game streamer. And some other stuff like that. And I've gotten the stuff necessary to fix my old computer, which will massively increase my streaming quality. BPM. Oh yeah, I actually have heard of that, but I think I have thought about it, but it would be. I'm just not very good at those kinds of rhythm games, and if I recall correctly, it's a bit of a rhythm game crossover type deal. I'd definitely be willing to try it, but unfortunately, I am pretty sure it would be too high spec, so I'd have to try it after I got my better computer fixed, which hopefully will be soon, actually. Hopefully I'll get my better computer fixed soon, especially now that it's cooling down. Oh, nice. Oh, lucky. That's always a strange thing. It's like sometimes I check the viewer box just because I'm curiosity killed the cat and all that jazz. And there's often people in there that never show up, and I wonder whether it's lurkers or just bots or sometimes a mix of both. Especially sometimes when I see recurring names, and I'm just like, I wonder. I am going to put in. There we go, 444. That's cool. Honestly, part of all that, part of all my low viewership is entirely my own fault because I really need to advertise more and like one of the pieces of advice is I keep hearing is like be on TikTok, be on these places, post regularly, do all these things. It's just like I should, but I don't know how to TikTok. I don't want to TikTok, but I should. Also, I just realized I've gotten dog food twice. That's kind of annoying, considering it's pretty much a nothing item. Yeah, that, that's really good. Congratulations on that, and yeah, that can help. I tend to be a bit isolated myself. Yeah, and that has helped, honestly. No, I refuse to take anti-gravity tears. They are annoying. Yeah, honestly, the summer's been killing me. There's a lot of things I meant to get done in that regards. Like getting my better computer online so I can play a wider variety of games, better quality, and at less delay for that matter. Oh, this boss is so annoying. Like normal bosses, the High Priestess nearly friggin' one-shots them. This jerk doesn't even touch him. Angel Room. Sure. What are you? Holy Light Shot. Holy Light Shot. Actually, wait. Has this unlocked yet? No, it has not. That's unfortunate. I'll still bomb these blue fires, but no luck. I mean, Holy Light Shot is still good, though. I don't know. Ideally, I'd like to just keep on streaming regularly and talking to people and just grow based off of that. But I think I do probably need to try and find ways to do more advertising. Like, just putting myself out there more. At the very least, probably playing more current games. Like, this game was pretty current when it had the DLC release, but I think it's quieted down a fair bit again. And of course, I didn't get to have the DLC until way after it released. Yeah, well, that's an incredible outcome. Like, that puts you in something like the top 95% of streamers. I'm not exaggerating. There's a lot of people streaming to very small audiences. Yeah, that definitely doesn't help. It can be a little tricky finding a balance between games that are both interesting and fresh and also not too saturated. Because yeah, especially because even with the release of the DLC, Isaac's community is pretty not set in stone exactly, but yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of people streaming who it's like when a new DLC releases, long-term fans of the game are mostly just going to be turning to people they have been long-term fans of, watching their content on it because it's somebody they already know. So it's definitely not an ideal game. Unfortunately, right now it's just kind of the best I've got to play. But that will change soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And if it does, I'll be able to stream a lot more things. Like my current computer it can stream very, very technically limited things if I'm very careful sometimes. My old computer, if I got it fixed properly, is more could stream literally anything at the time at least. Nowadays it's probably a bit more can stream most things. but it used to be very high end. Oh yeah, I forgot how this varicose veins item works with this brimstone. My old computer had two very powerful graphics cards and like 64 gigs of RAM as well. It was ridiculous, to say the least. Wait, um, oh, so it's just auto fires targeting. Okay, well that's just really fucking cool. Gosh dang. Well, I'm glad I played this run out because suddenly this run is great. Yeah, my current computer, its graphics card is unknown low end. Because after my old computer stopped. Oh, dang it. Nightbot, stop being rude. I'm so sorry. Well, I saw your message if it helps. Uh, Nightbot is a little over enthusiastic. Oh my god. There we go, finally. But yeah, my old computer was super duper high end. Like multiple terabytes of memory and a lot of RAM. I was like, if I can get it fixed, it's going to be very nice to have. Nice. I should definitely take left hand because it can give me red chests, which can give me guppy. But yeah, the thing about my old computer is that it's never really had any hardware issues, but it had some software issues and got completely wiped, and I had trouble reinstalling it for ages because I was using a restore disk that came with it. And a friend pointed out that restore disks apparently aren't very good, and I should be using a proper Windows install media. And so recently, when I got the stimulus kit money, I actually got lookup HP down. I'm fine with that. Hey, you forget that PC right now is completely wiped to the extent that I have it unplugged and cannot use it at all. My current PC has potato specs at best. Potato specs might actually be overstating my current PC. So right now, I'm jealous of your current PC. I don't know why Eye of the Occult plus Azazel's Mini Brimstone works like this, but it does, and I'm pretty happy about it. Yeah, that's an interesting story. Oh heck, it's freaking 11 p.m. on a strange night. I'll just tell the story. The story of that is my aunt died, and it was, oh my god, varicose veins with this is incredible. Interesting. But yeah, my aunt died, and it was not a great time. There's a lot of complicated shit that happened, but she left me a small inheritance. Very small. And at the time, I had big dreams of becoming a YouTuber and a streamer. And then I got the PC to do it and ran into a bunch of technical issues where I couldn't get it connected to the internet, couldn't get it running because I didn't really know what I was doing technologically. Because I was pretty clueless. And so I never wound, by the time I had it functioning properly, I never got back into streaming until years later when I actually picked it up again this year. For a long time, it was just sort of, I don't know, it's a sad old story. I still wish my aunt had been dealt a better hand. Yeah, but yeah, that's the story of why I have such a high-end computer to the extent that when my friend who knows something about computers looked at it, they were like, why does it have this? You don't actually need this. This is kind of excessive and pointless. And it's just like, I was a kid, and morning I wasn't willing to call morning, buying something that I thought would help me achieve my dreams. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, both of my computers now kind of have sad ass tales attached to them. Like this computer, a friend of mine, after my old computer ran into those technical issues that I could never manage to fix, I just didn't have a computer for like a couple of years, or a year, I don't even remember. And then a friend got me this computer so I could play with her. But then unfortunately, some extremely complicated personal drama happened. Nowadays, we don't even talk to each other anymore. That's just kind of sad. Nice. Oh gosh dang it. I hate this interaction so much. Normally, if you bomb next to a champion room, you can get in there. But if you have, or if you run into a boss fight in there, it, and it locks the door because of the boss fight in the secret room, it'll keep it locked. And yeah, I don't know, it's just messy, messy, messy human stuff, you know? A lot of people I'll never forget, but who've either forgotten me or might even curse my name. I don't know. I tend to be an extremely loyal person, and even people I haven't talked to in years I remember and remain loyal to, even though they don't really talk to me anymore, but it's just, I wonder sometimes how people remember me who I don't talk to anymore. Like, I guess I might as well just keep chattering on about sad things. It's the season for it. Or it's the time for it, more or less. Guess I'll just leave that targeter there. Do that, do this. Yes, nice. Okay, so I think I just do this, then get the health back, then do this, get the health back, more or less. Nice. I mean, I might as well keep talking about it. Because basically, that friend I mentioned, she was, well, let's just say, for first, oh god, yeah, it's always one of the worst feelings. I have been discarded by a lot of people. I understand that deeply. Like, a person that you've met a couple times and I talk to, or talk about time and again, yeah, it's just, yeah, yeah. But hey, you seem to have dealt with it remarkably well. Goodness knows I never did. I had a lot of non-friendships. Basically, throughout the first 18 years of my life, I just didn't really have friends. Like, I had one friend with any regularity, and she was a family friend more so than a personal friend, although she's still a very good friend. But she lived in California, and we only really talked once a year at best. And then, like, up until I was about 18, there just wasn't anybody. Like, I had some occasional friendships in school, but they were mostly just I was the tall, strong person. So I was either scary or bullied with little in between for the most part. And just a lot of friend groups I was very briefly in. Yeah, sometimes you do just gotta move on. Yeah. And that's a healthy way to deal with it, honestly. If people are that ready to discard you, it's just there already wasn't much friendship there. Yeah, like my life was mostly just that, just briefly being in friend groups, and then just them moving on because I was never really a part of them. Not the time bot. Yeah, so it was rough. And then when I was 18, that person I mentioned became my first friend. Saved my life, really. Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, that friend showed up, found me, befriended me, and saved my life when I was pretty done with living when I was 18. And then we were friends for a long time, despite me always having, because I dealt with my issues in this regard by just starting to just inherently expect that people would discard me and just sort of always expecting it. Ironically, sort of the same way I deal with keeping calm in this game. Just if I'm paying attention and predicting, oh, well, because of these factors I'm going to die, or because of these factors I'm going to lose friends, or because of X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. If it doesn't surprise you, it doesn't hurt as much. But yeah, and then for a long time, it defied that. She stuck around and we stayed friends. And then last year, there was a catastrophe, basically, where I kind of fell apart and became somebody new. And she didn't deal with it very well and just sort of stopped talking to me, discarded me. The full dead to her treatment. Uh, I nearly didn't make it to this year, but luckily, thanks to the person you've seen around a couple times, Urban Lioness, she helped me pick myself back up before this year and get myself back on track for this year. I've been actually, it's like I was not sleeping or eating last year, and this year I've been sleeping regularly, eating regularly, streaming every day, give or take a couple days here and there. What a difference a year makes. But yeah, it's been nice talking to you, even if it's kind of a sad turn. And I am sorry that happened to you. That's never fun. Friend groups fall apart. But anyway, yeah, that is going to be the end of stream for today. Excuse me. Yona. Yeah, I'm happy I met you as well. You're really nice as well. It's been really nice talking to you. But I do need to end the stream and probably go eat something, do some other stuff. So, y'all know how it goes. Have a nice night, y'all.